Hi, what you're about to watch on this video is a portion of a webinar that I did in my private Amazon Facebook group. We've got over 2,000 sellers that are in this Facebook group, and you can find out more about my course and book and all the other stuff that I do at my website at AskJimmySmith.com. I just wanted to thank you for checking out the video and let you know that this is a portion of a much longer webinar that I've done in the group. So if you have any questions at all, please feel free to leave a comment below or reach out to me at AskJimmySmith.com. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope you have a great day. How do you overcome burnouts, giving up, and procrastination, etc.? Oh, that's a good question. Trying to think. So I went through the 5 daily habits of an Amazon seller on my YouTube channel. So I recently posted that YouTube video on in this group page. So I would check that out. That kind of helps me to stay focused. I also went through some other tips too on a recent video that I would recommend checking out. Now, overcoming burnout, giving up, and procrastination. Those are different topics. So I can try to overcome some of those things. So burning out, that's going to happen, I think, in general, whether you have a job, whether you have a business, whether you have multiple businesses, whether you're a parent or a spouse. I mean, there's going to be burnout at different times throughout any relationship or anything that you have going on. So for me with burnouts, like if I'm starting to just kind of get tired, for me, I usually take a couple of days off, right? And now if it's, with personal life stuff, it's not always going to be that, but it could be, hey, instead of like, let's say it's a relationship thing, let's go on a little mini vacation, a family vacation. Let's go do something fun together because it's easy to kind of get into a rut from a family standpoint. But from a business standpoint, it's the same thing. Take some time off, refocus, take a deep breath, enjoy the fruits of your labor at that point, right? Take some of the money that you've earned and just take a couple of days off to enjoy it, right? That's the beautiful part about the Q4 season, is that there's so much money to be made, but we as sellers should be also spending time with our families. We shouldn't be ignoring that. We should be taking the time off as holidays to, just essentially relax. So that's how I overcome burnout a little bit more. I also work out, 4 times a week or so. I work out pretty regularly, try to eat healthy. If you're filling your body with bad food, you're not working out, you're constantly doing things that don't help your body to run as efficiently as possible, you're going to burn out easier. So that's also how you overcome it, is to have a good offense, essentially. Take vitamins, all that kind of, drink water, avoid the soda, give up anything that makes your body run down, and fill it with things that ultimately help you to feel better. And so that would be one way. In terms of giving up, and this kind of also would go into the burnout section, depending on why you're burning out. But giving up is usually because you don't have the reason behind why you're doing it. I'm not a big person on like, oh, figure out your why. But I do think that it is important to have as kind of, what's the point? Like, why are you doing these things? No matter what you do, there should be a reason to why you're doing it. If you're working at a job, why are you working at a job? If you're working at a business, why are you doing that? Ultimately, you're going to have a reason. And so for me, I was working at a job to make money. Right. Whenever I had a job before I ever quit, I was working there to make money because that's what I was supposed to do, because that was the next logical step after college, because I was, able to provide for my family. I was able to, pay for the things that we wanted to do. So I had a job for money. With the business became, okay, yeah, we can make money with it, but I've got the business for family. I've got it so I can spend more time at home. I've got it so that I can ultimately build a different life. I got it so that I can have more freedom and autonomy in my life. So that's how I avoid giving up, because I know the shackles that I felt at a job, which I know is probably extreme, but I just felt super tied down. Always somebody, over my shoulder, watching what I was doing, just essentially controlling my day, controlling my life, and spending hours, dozens of hours, right, away from family and the things that were most important to me. So that's how I avoid giving up, is to have, for me, what's most important is my freedom of time. And there's a lot of biblical examples for that. I recommend the book Evangelpreneur by Josh Tolley. It's one of my favorite books, and that kind of discusses why you should quit your job. He actually also wrote the book Quit Your Job or Die, because there's a lot of proof showing that employment leads to more heart attacks. There's more heart attacks on Mondays than there are on any other day of the week because your blood pressure rises. There's studies showing that on Sunday nights going into Mondays, Sunday nights is when your blood pressure starts to rise tremendously because people are getting geared up for the work week. So there's a ton of different information out there for why employment can be such a problem. Now, it's also a beautiful thing and we can provide jobs, provide income, but we also need to make sure that we're pushing forward the culture of entrepreneurship as much as we can, even within our employees that show the inclination to want to do that. Not everybody wants to do it. Not everybody should be an entrepreneur. I think that, it's a certain quality trait, but if you have the drive to have the freedom of time, then that's ultimately or have the drive to spend more time with your family, or the drive to have unlimited wealth potential, which I'm not saying that you should go out and be the next Jeff Bezos, but you do have that potential. Whereas with a job, there's always a cap. I don't care where you're at, what job you're in, there's always going to be a cap at a job. So having the ability to make money in multiple different ways, provide in multiple different ways, be able to be flexible and push forward in multiple different ways. It's so important, entrepreneurship and having, if you just look at the last year and a half, all the jobs that have been lost or quit, all of the control in different ways, whatever side of the aisle you're on, there's a lot of control that employment has over you versus entrepreneurship that can become a problem. And so being an entrepreneur gives you that freedom, that flexibility. And most replan businesses that went through the pandemic, they made more money than they did before the pandemic because so many people went to e-commerce and online shopping. There's just so many benefits to it. So I apologize, I'm kind of going on a rant, but you gave me 3 topics that I spent a lot of time thinking on. And then procrastination, that's the hardest one because it's going to be individual. But again, it comes back to, why are you doing any of the things that you're doing? And I highly recommend auditing every single thing that you do in your life as to, why am I doing this? Why am I spending 3 hours watching TV at night? What am I trying to avoid by doing that? Why am I eating this food versus this other food? Why am I doing this job? Why am I working out? Why am I going, to this place? Why, whatever it might be, just have that constantly be stalking yourself in that way to figure out what is the baseline for what's going on. Once you know those whys and you have, okay, these are the bad whys, these are the things I should avoid, what are the things that I should pursue? You start pursuing these good ones. Well, at that point, the procrastination becomes a lot easier to avoid, because then you're pursuing the things that you know you should pursue. You're pursuing the things that are best. Additionally, it's not that I'm, always great in that. I struggle with procrastination all the time. So for me, I have a power list that is essentially the top 5 things that I need to do each day that push my business or my personal life or spiritual life or whatever it might be forward. So 5 things total. And I've written it down every day. It's been over the last year. Highly recommend doing that as well. So it could be, it's not like to-do list items like, oh, I need to, go and make my bed this morning, or I need to brush my teeth, right? Those are obvious. We're talking things that are going to push your business or your life forward. So it could be, okay, today I'm going to go find 5 replens, or I'm going to find 10 replens, or I'm going to spend 3 hours, looking for replens. Today, I'm going to get a shipment out. Today, I'm going to read my Bible. If you've been out of that pattern, or today I'm going to work out because I haven't been working out lately, right? It's those things. Once you do those 5 things, then your freedom, for me, the way that I do it is that then I have the rest of my day as my own, right? So if I finish those 5 things by 11 o'clock in the morning, I can do whatever I want the rest of the day. I can go to the movies, I can go out to eat, I can do whatever I want. Now, usually I decide to continue to work and cross things off my to-do lists that I have to do. But those 5 things I have to do. But what that also means is that in those 5 things, if it's 9 o'clock at night, then I need to finish that 5th one, right? So it's not that I'm always done by 11. A lot of times, actually, I think last night, it was last night. I was up till 1:30 in the morning. And it's because I had to finish 2 things on my list after midnight because I had procrastinated or done other things throughout the day. But those 5 things are I have to do these. Now, at the end of the day, you write a W at the top of the page if you got all 5 and you circle it, that's a win. You write an L at the top of the page if you don't get all 5, because that's a loss. Essentially, what you want to have happen is that throughout the week, you win more days than you lose. If you're winning every day, then your list is too easy. You should have days that you can't finish it all. If you're finishing every day by 11 o'clock in the morning, that's a problem. You want to have days too that you're losing. Just because you want to make sure that you're pushing yourself forward in whatever that is. If it becomes a habit, right? Right now, if I'm working out, I work out regularly. That's not going on my power list because that's a habit of mine. There's a lot of things that don't go on that list because it's a habit of mine. So that is a huge piece for me. And I highly recommend doing that process. The whole goal, if you're winning more days than you're losing, that means you're winning the week. If you're winning more weeks than you're losing, that means you're winning the month. If you're winning more months than you're losing, that means you won the year. And you'll look back at the year prior and see how far that you've come. It really does make a huge difference. But for me, that is a very powerful exercise. At the end of the night, you're going to review your day, see how you did. You should be crossing those things off. And then you write the next day's list. So you don't want to get up and not know what you need to do. You want to get up and have that list ready to go for you to be able to benefit from it the most. And so I've done it for a while. Sorry, again, my back is a little tweaked. So because I've been working out. So essentially, yeah, I've got here. So I usually would write it at the top of this. Sorry, the light's getting it. But I would put a little thing here that has the power list and put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I would write it out from there. It's kind of hard with the lighting to see it. And I would show you mine, but there's some business stuff that I can't. But yeah, so I've been doing that every day for quite a bit, quite a while, probably a year and a month or two. And it's been a good process. So I recommend doing that so that you avoid procrastination. And there will be days that you procrastinate, right? If you're burnt out, if you're procrastinating a lot, that usually means you're burnt out. And if you're burnt out, take a day off, right? I think biblically, that's why, Sabbath, there's a Sabbath in the Bible for a reason. It's made for man, not man for the Sabbath, because God knows that we need to take time off. Work 6 days, you're off fully, completely the 7th day. So I think there's a lot that can be said there for all three of those things. We could really talk about that and have a discussion for quite a while. Hey, thank you so much for checking out this video. Be sure to leave a comment below with any thoughts or questions you might have, and I'll make sure to respond to as many of them as I can. And while you're at it, if you found value in this video, hit the like button and also subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell so that you can be notified of any new videos that I put out on this channel. Or if you'd simply tell a friend about the content that I provide, I'd really appreciate that. That would help me out so that more people can get to this channel and get the content out further. And lastly, make sure to visit my website, AskJimmySmith.com. You can check out all of my content and get a bunch of different free resources that I have available to you on AskJimmySmith.com. I really appreciate your time and the time that you took to watch this video, and I look forward to serving you in any way that I can in the future. Thank you and have a blessed day.